data is the new oil. This aphorism, this analogy has been used for the last decade or so. I want to first tell you how data is similar to oil. First of all, oil you didn't really used to have a use. In the year 1800, if it was on a property, it was considered more of a nuisance. If you dug for water, as a settler and you struck oil before 1850, you were disappointed. In 1854, the kerosene lamp gets invented. Now you have a utility for the petroleum. Now it's displacing whale oil. Whalers losing their jobs, massive uproar at the time, of course, social justice warriors everywhere decrying the end of the whaling industry, how the poor little whalers are losing their jobs. Nevertheless, oil has come into being now, displacing that. Then you have the internal combustion engine that gets created. Suddenly, you have the industrial equipment that needs the commodity. But it's really when you were able to refine oil into gasoline that industrial society, that society as we know it today, civilization, really took off and came into being. So it's when you have the application that can make use of the raw resource. Now, similarly with data before, it was just a bunch of books, a bunch of ledgers. You couldn't make sense of it. A whole bunch of zeros and ones piled onto paper that was impossible to carry. Now you can put this you can fill books to the ceiling of 30 stories high, and you can find it on that amount of space. Now the trick is, now we have to be able to make sense of it all, and we finally have the industrial equipment that we need in the form of the computational power that we can then organize the data, not only the storage capacity, but the computational power, the computer chips, et cetera, the cloud servers, and the ability then to transport that product through bigger pipes. In other words, larger amounts of bandwidth that we're able to send that data along. Now we're able to make sense of the data. Now we're able to interpret things. We're able to shave off massive amounts of time. We're saving time, we're saving money, we're saving raw resources because of all this data. So this is how they're similar. 1 barrel of oil used to hold 25,000 man-hours worth of power. In other words, if I was tilling the soil at full tilt using all my strength, 1 barrel of oil equaled 25,000 hours of my labor in terms of its potential. Now, similarly, data is we're able to employ data in, for example, examining breast cancer or cancer, just based on millions and millions of images and feedback loop from doctors. We now have algorithms that are able to discern whether or not something is cancerous, whether an image is cancerous, with a very high degree of accuracy. So this is thousands of hours of doctors' time and patients' time that is going to be saved thanks to the data. So it's really the fact that we're now able to harness and refine the data, that we have the capabilities. In some sense, data is the new oil. Tune in, check out my next video. I'm going to tell you why it's not. This is Rich for RichMakesYouRich.com signing off.